jiu-jitsu, all right? Sprawl. I don't have the best sprawl in the world, but the main thing is you got to have good hips, okay? If he starts to come down for a double and gets around my hips, I have to be able to shoot. All a sprawl is shooting your legs back and dropping your hip weight on top of him. When you shoot it back, because if I stay here, he's going to drive through me and take me down. So the second he's down here, if I can just lean forward and sprawl, then hopefully my main objective is to sprawl my legs out of his hands. So here I'm still in danger because if he locks my legs up and starts walking towards me on his knees, he's going to bring me back up, and then maybe I sprawl again. And he's going to keep coming up, and he's either going to switch from double or he's going to go to one leg. If he goes to one leg, with his arms, it becomes even harder to sprawl that one leg out because it's my one leg versus his two arms. Okay, so all a sprawl is, and I believe a sprawl is more effective when you have good timing. If I could sense him shooting in and I could sprawl before he gets around my entire hips, you're going to have more success. So it's basically like if you've ever done the burpee, it's very similar to that. Okay, but instead we're not going to put our hands to the floor. We're just going to do the second step, which was sprawling your hips out. He's coming after my legs, and I see it. I'm going to sprawl. Okay. If he still has my legs, I'm going to do certain things to get my legs free of his hands. And then where do we go from there? Where I always go, front headlock. Because the front headlock, head and underarm, we can do what we did in the last section, which is spin around to the back, go to the guillotine, go to the anaconda, go to the darce. We have a lot of jiu-jitsu options, okay? So very easy way to practice it is he shoots, I sprawl. Again, it's more timing than anything. So right now he doesn't have his hands on either of my legs. So from a sprawl, what I like to do immediately, don't ever stay here. Here's a tip. Don't ever stay with what I call double under. Both of my arms under both of his arms. There's something he can do called a peek out. If he peeks out, he's going to come around and take my back. Okay, that is wrestling. 1-on-1. So I don't ever do that because I know he can do it. So the second I'm here and I get my legs free, I release one, I go around the head, I lock it up. And here we were just in the last section. Knee in the pole, relock, take his back, it's gi, take the chokes right here. Bulldog choke. Okay, there's a lot of stuff you can do. So we're just going to sprawl. Before we even get to the sprawl though, a lot of times people don't even shoot on me because I'm able to get this. Your hands are your first line of defense, okay? Really movement is. He starts coming, just moves out of the way, circle. If I ever think he's going to shoot, I love to just circle on people. And if I'll circle this way, and I'll circle this way. It kind of screws him up. And then I'll get him. And when I get him here, it's really hard to shoot because he's running right into my form. I have pretty long wrist to form, and I just kind of keep it under him. And if he gets rid of that and shoots, I have my hands, I have my elbows. I'm trying to protect my hips. I want to keep them away from him. If we shoot and go, shoot. This is normally what it looks like when I'm wrestling people. And then once in a while, you get a kid who's just a stud or whatever, and he sets it up really nice, and he gets under your hands. And now you got to sprawl. Okay? So if you do everything right, you should never have to sprawl. But if you get a guy who gets under you and he shoots hard and fast, we have a guy who's filming right now, Danny Matos, who's really good with shots, and I have to sprawl a lot with him. But yeah, we end up here. And he's still able to grab my legs. So what I'm going to do now is take my hands, grab his hips, and sprawl harder on his head, and push them out. Once they're out, back to the front headlock. Okay? Sometimes you can body lock him. If he has my legs, body lock. Drop the hips right on his head. Once they're out, immediately go from body lock to front headlock. Okay? So, first line of defense, the hands. Second line, the elbows. Third line is going to be your sprawl. Okay? And then the fourth line is going to be submissions. I'll show you that. But that's the sprawl for the double leg. If you see him shooting in, throw your hips back. Don't ever let him suck your hips in. And one more tip on that, if he does suck them in, a lot of times you can bump them. Okay, so right now I don't feel like I can sprawl. But if I bump them with my hips, bump, I get my hips out, Then I can sprawl on his head. I've done that a billion times. You gotta make that like, kind of like hump him. You hump his shoulder just to kind of get away from him because he's hugging and squeezing and pulling. I bump into him to create a little space, then I sprawl on him. Right back to the front headlock. That's the sprawl. All right, the second wrestly thing is going to be the whizzer. W-H-I-Z-Z-E-R. Some people call it the wizard. W-I-Z-A-R-D. I've heard college wrestlers call it the wizard. It's very weird. Whatever someone calls it, that's what it is, and this is what I'm going to show you. It's a very intelligent and effective way to defend a single leg. I use this once in a while, mainly